Today I'm going to talk a little bit about flash. There are basically, when you have a flash, there are two ways to use it. There's off-camera flash, taking the flash off of the camera, syncing it up with the camera somehow, and taking pictures. Or you have on-camera flash, putting on the hot shoe and taking a picture that way. When you do use on-camera flash, there are basically three ways to do it. Number one would be straight on flash, shooting that, pointing it right at the subject and taking a picture. Or you have bounce flash, bouncing it off of the ceiling, using it that way. You're not limited to a ceiling. You can also bounce it that way, off of a wall if your subject is close to a wall. And you have light modifiers on a flash. A light modifier is just simply something that you're putting on top of the flash. For example, small little softbox here. You can put that right over this flash and you have a light modifier. Just like that. Little drawback to that is these things going to cost you some money, anywhere from $30 on up. So a couple things to consider if you're going to use bounce flash. Number one would be the height of the ceiling. Let's say you're shooting a picture inside a house and it's normal ceiling. I don't know if it was at 9-10 feet. So let's say your subject is 6 feet tall. So that light has to go from where you're standing up to that ceiling and then back down to the subject. So let's say the person you're shooting, you're 6 feet tall, the person's 6 feet tall, you have 10-foot ceilings, so your light is going to go 4 feet up, 4 feet down. Has to travel 8 feet. That's not too bad. But if you're shooting inside a building that has taller ceilings, 20, 30, 40 feet, you probably can't use bounce flash, so keep that in mind. Something else to keep in mind is the color of the reflective surface that you're going to bounce the light off of. Let's say normal house that has white walls, white ceilings, that's going to be fine. But if you're using it, if it has a yellow ceiling, red ceiling, whatever the case may be, that light will pick up the color of its reflective surface. Let's say you shoot in a yellow room, your light's going to be a little bit yellow. If you can see the comparison pretty good between bouncing the light and straight on flash. Bouncing the light here looks very natural, not very contrasty, but it almost looks like you didn't have any flash. Versus the straight on flash is very contrasty. It's a very hard light. When you bounce it, that you make the ceiling the light source, and then the light source becomes very big. The bigger the light source that you have, the softer the light becomes. And you can really see that when you see the hard light with the straight on flash versus the bounce light and the smoothness of the light. There can be a drawback to using bounce flash. If somebody has deep set eyes, sometimes the light might not get all the way back to their eyes. But you can lighten that up a little bit in Photoshop as well. If you have found this tutorial helpful, please subscribe to this channel and feel free to leave any comment that you want. If there's something that you'd like me to talk about in an upcoming tutorial, please leave a comment and I'll try to do that. Thank you very much.